going on? What's going on, everybody? My voice sounds a little froggy today, like Kermit, because I've had a little cold and cough for the past, few days. But what's going on? And welcome to the Working People's Podcast. James Hollingsworth here. This is the place where everybody desires to build generational wealth and a financial legacy for their families. And we want to just come to you because we got a few things that we need to just have a discussion and a conversation about, because it's relevant and it's very important. So come on in the house, come on in the room, come on in the building. And I'm happy to be joining you all tonight live as we always are. And I want to tell you, if you come through, if you could just go ahead and you're watching on YouTube, press that subscribe button. And when you do that, ring the notification bell, ding, 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 so that you can get notified when we upload new videos and new content. But also, if you come through here on Facebook, on the Working People's Podcast, or my personal page, James Hollingsworth, drop some comments, because I want to get some feedback if you come through and see what your thoughts are on, are you prepared? Are you financially ready? Have you gotten yourself in a financial position where you are prepared for the recession? Because I said it maybe a week, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, whenever I said it, I said, I'm calling it. We in one. That's what I'm saying. We in one. A lot of folks saying it's still to come. Jerome Powell, just a few days ago, in his speech when the Federal Reserve once again raised the Fed interest rate another 75 basis points. If you haven't seen that, you need to really, hey, look, folks, we need to keep our eyes wide open right now, and we need to be paying great attention to what is being said. I know you all are interested in Uncle Joe, because he's, to say the least, somewhat comical to listen to when he talk, if that's what you want to call it. I know that perhaps you're more interested in hearing what he has to say, but I'm telling you right now, we need to be paying attention and watching what the Federal Reserve is doing and what Jerome Powell is saying, because his voice, when he speaks, if he's talking hawkish, then you need to be holding on to your dresser and holding on to your lace front, because it's about to get shaky and rocky. So that's what we want to ask you. Are you financially prepared for a recession? So if you come through here on Facebook, go ahead and press that heart button. Thumbs up, we'll take that too. Drop some comments below. Share this video with your cousin, them, your aunties, and all your peoples around the block. Let them know that, hey, you need to be listening and watching out what's going on. And a big shout out, come on, in the building. We're going to give a big, huge shout out to Rodney Williams and Second Friendship Missionary Baptist Church for allowing us to streaming live to Second Friendship Missionary Baptist Church Facebook page. Shout out to the ship. We're streaming live. I want to show you some things, because I always want you to know that, yes, I do have an opinion, but I want you to see facts, data, statistics. I don't want to talk about probabilities and possibilities and all that. We could do that at times, but I want you to see the information for yourself. That's why I show statistics and I show you data and I show you what's going on. More than just what, prominent people are saying, CNN or whoever the case may be. But I want you to see for yourself the movers and the shakers, the people that have the capacity to move the needle one way or the other, and it will financially affect you and I, the working people. I'm just trying to hope us. I'm trying to hope you. I'm trying to hope myself. You feel me? Because right now is not the time for us to stick our head in the sand, or, dig a hole somewhere and lay ourselves down in the beach under some sand and just, look up at the sun and just, now it's not the time for us to be, I don't want to say ignorant, but caught off guard, whatever you want to call it and say about it. I'm saying now it's not the time for us to be just going around. No, we need to have our eyes wide open, because let me ask you this. How many of you know somebody, hopefully not yourself, that has been laid off within the last 30 days? Or how about this? How many of you know somebody, hopefully not you, that have recently gotten a letter about being laid off or an upcoming layoff? Because I certainly know some people that has happened too. So, hey, but let's look at something. I don't know if you guys have been watching, the last couple, 2 or 3 posts or so that I put up on my personal Facebook page and the Working People's Podcast page, talking about Twitter, right? It's public information and public news, and what's happening there. But let's look at that. Let's look at that. Here it is. Tech layoffs. Twitter, Lyft, Stripe. They joined the list of companies cutting jobs, y'all. Yep, cutting jobs. I said we in a recession, but there's still like 98% of the CEOs, and I saw some data that said about the majority, or over half of the economists, are saying that the recession is coming within 12 to 18 months. Hey, really? Good luck with that. Four straight 75 basis point interest rate increases, hikes by the Federal Reserve in 2022. Hey, you tried to buy some chicken wings lately? How much them chicken wings costing you? Yeah? Have you been just out to eat at a general restaurant lately? Right? How much is that costing you? I went to get the 5 wings and a side with a biscuit and a drink, the combo from Popeye's Chicken, and that thing cost me over $15. I know how you feel about it, because I feel the same way. Hurt my heart. I felt some kind of way about that, but that's what's going on right now. So I'm trying to open our eyes and help us. And I know this ain't, sexy conversation. It ain't, full of, what's that? What do you call it when, you just got some things you want to talk about just to, stir the pot and get a bunch of folk coming through and watching. I want to talk about something that's relevant, that's affecting all of us right now in our day-to-day life. And it's like we got holes. Many people have holes in their pockets because financially, it's a lot of people in tight spots. And I know we can come on social media platforms and make our, selves, make things look a certain way. But in real life, I'm old enough to know and to see. I got my eyes wide open. I can see what's going on. The nonstop drama. You see this right here? Maybe I should make it a little bigger on the screen. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. Uh-oh, I can't make it bigger. I don't know what I'm doing. Unless I'm not doing it right. There we go. Got it. Made it a little bigger. The nonstop drama that's been going on at Twitter all week is ending on a very real, very sour note. This was written 11/4. This was written on 11/4, so 2 days ago. That's when I posted about the Twitter jobs being cut. Today, which was on Friday, Elon Musk, who's the new owner of Twitter, began sending layoff notices to around 50% of the Twitter staff. So that means that Musk is set to lay off over 3,700 employees on Friday at Twitter. The layoffs will reportedly impact Twitter's workforce globally and will hit nearly every division at Twitter, from marketing to engineering to legal. Look at right there. I mentioned about Stripe, how the CEO of Stripe, what was his name? Uh, let me see. What was his name? Patrick Collison. Patrick Collison. He wrote an email to their employees at Stripe announcing layoffs of 1,000 employees last week. Sent that letter out. So you got 14% or 1,000 jobs. Lyft 13%, 700 jobs. Right? Data shows from October of 2022 alone that there have been more than 12,100 layoffs across 88 tech companies. Just 4 days into November, there have already been over 3,500 layoffs across 19 companies. And that data, you read that, likely does not include the Twitter layoffs on Friday. Let's see what else. Let's close this one out. Let's go over here. Jeff Bezos said, batten down the hatches. You know why he said that? Do y'all know why he said batten down the hatches? Because Amazon fell short of their earnings. Jeff Bezos said batten down the hatches, and he said that just before Amazon's brutal earnings led Bank of America to argue, right? Bank of America began to argue or state that the recession may already be here. I'm trying to tell you folks, people are saying 12 to 18 months, right, on the recession. I said we already in it. And if they're saying a recession is coming, 12 to 18 months, come on, follow this logic with me. Follow this logic with me. And I'm going to say it again here in a minute. If they're saying it's coming 12 to 18 months, I'm saying it's here. Bank of America is arguing after Jeff Bezos said batten down the hatches and Amazon's brutal earnings report. You know, they fell short of their earnings and their stock dropped, I want to say like 11.5% on Friday. That the recession is already here. So follow the logic. If they're saying that it's still to come, a lot of the analysts and economists, right, and a lot of the CEOs that's been sitting on cash, making sure that their companies are leveraged to go through this, right? If it's they saying it's still to come in 12 to 18 months, how bad are they thinking that it's going to get? Let me get this off the screen so that I don't want to be seeing this woman somebody talking. Let me go down here. There it is. After months of consistent recession predictions from Wall Street titans and billionaire investors, some 98% of CEOs and more than half of economists believe a recession will hit within the next 12 to 18 months. If they saying it's still to come in 12 to 18 months, how bad are they predicting that it's going to be? Because Jerome Powell, well, let me get to that in a minute. Because he said, and there have been a few other people that have just kind of casually said, oh, we don't think that in the housing market that we'll see a correction and a crash as big as we saw in 2008. However, they do predict that there will be a housing crash because, well, let me say it this way. They do predict that it's going to be a housing crash, but he said, Jerome Powell, that the lending institutions and banks and mortgage companies, they didn't overextend themselves with loans. They didn't make a lot of bad loans this time around. So they should be able to manage through this time, right? But he also was very, very clear that their work is not done yet in terms of what they need to do, not just raising interest rates, right? Cool off the housing market. And then I'm going to show you what he said a few days ago as it relates to jobs. I'm just telling us we need to keep our eyes open. Need to keep our eyes open, and we need to keep our head on a swivel. We need to keep our ears open. We need to be paying attention what's going on right now, because if you still think everything is going great and everything's fine and you're doing all right, right? Don't get blindsided. If they're saying 12 to 18 months recession coming, I'm saying it's already here. Bank of America's arguing that it's already here. Other, people are arguing that it's already here. And they saying it's yet still to come, because that's exactly what Jerome Powell said, Federal Reserve Chairman. It's yet still to come. How bad do you think they're predicting that it's going to possibly get? There are some people conservatively estimating that it's going to be over 5%, 6% unemployment rate, right? So let's go over here. Let's look at, first, let's go ahead. No, let's look at what Patrick Bet-David said first. Let's look at what Patrick Bet-David. Patrick Bet-David is the founder of PHP Insurance. He's still involved with the company, even though I believe that he sold the company, and he did very well on that sale. But let's look at what Patrick Bet-David had to say about his prediction, right? He predicted this before this most recent Federal Reserve interest rate hike. So I was recently at the bank on Friday. I was at one of our local major banks here, and I saw the little board posted, and one bank was advertising mortgage rates at 7.38%, somewhere in that ballpark, and then another one was 7.7 or something like that, but they were over 7% in terms of their mortgage interest rates. So Patrick Bet-David, let's show you this. He predicted, let's make this full screen here. Patrick Bet-David is predicting that the 30-year interest rates are going to hit 10% or over 10%. He believes that's going to happen. So let's listen. Let's listen to that again. That's good enough. You heard him. Hopefully that came through real loud and clear. Now let's go over here and listen to what old Jerome Powell said. What you got to say, Jerome? Make sure that there we go. I got sound on my end, so I hope you have sound on your end to hear this. Jerome Powell. What did Jerome have to say? Oh, got a little bit of an ad playing. Da, da, da. Let's go back. Listen to it again. What'd you say, Jerome? We're taking forceful and rapid. What do you say? Rapid steps. We will keep at it until we're confident that the job is done. So he talked about, what was it? Growth, slow growth. Let's hear that part again. Let's hear that part one more time, Jerome. That's the part I wanted to hear again. Below trend growth, a sustained effort. All right. Just like that. A sustained period of below trend growth and soft job market. In other words, translated, literally causing a economic condition to happen where employers have to have a job hiring freeze, and then where they are also put in a position because of sustained periods of below trend growth where they have to lay off some of their workforce. So one of their tools that's at their disposal to slow the economy down when they're raising interest rates, one of the outcomes they want from that is to soften the job market, hiring freezes, and layoff, unemployment, so that they can slow the economy down enough to begin to taper off and reduce high inflation, to reduce the inflation. So I don't know how else to say it. All I'm trying to, I don't know if I want to say pre-warn, but advise people once again and tell them, because sometimes it seems like because people have this ideal that things are doing so well that they don't understand that the Federal Reserve, okay, like I said, you can listen to Biden all you want to, continue to listen to Uncle Joe, listen to Joe Biden, whether you like him, don't like him, whatever. To me, it don't matter. But you need to be listening to what Jerome Powell is saying and what the Federal Reserve is doing, and the one side of the government where they're continuing to print money, not necessarily print money, but to give money away, giving out money, all giving all this money away, right? And it's counterproductive to what the Federal Reserve is trying to do, sustain periods of slow, below trend economic growth, and it's continuing to cause the inflation numbers to stay higher. And if you would have listened a few days ago to what Jerome Powell was saying, he is, I don't want to say not happy, but they were predicting and hoping that the job markets would have slowed down more than what they have, that we are still above where he thinks the target projected area should be in terms of the job market and the labor numbers. So they're trying to slow down the economy and cause us to go into below trend growth, and a sustained period of it, right? And to do that is going to have a job market that there's layoffs, hiring freezes. And so and I know people like, well, I'm doing fine right now. Some people feel like they're doing good and everything's great and you're getting by. But we're about to potentially see, I don't know what the unemployment numbers might get up to. Like I say, that there are some conservative estimates saying 5%, 6% or whatever. But how would you think? How would you feel if within the next 12 to 18 months we saw 8% unemployment, 10% unemployment, hiring freezes, stuff like that. So what we need to do is prepare ourselves, because if you don't prepare yourself, you can end up being caught off guard and caught in a situation where Jesus. I feel some kind of way about it, and there's a lot of things that I want to say, but I just don't know how appropriate it would be to say. But are you prepared? Are you prepared if you get laid off? Are you prepared for that? Hey, those of you that's renting, let me tell you, hey, if you don't believe me, go find it for yourself from a few days ago, the day that the Federal Reserve raised the interest rates 75 basis points. Just a few days ago, go listen to the speech that Jerome Powell gave and listen to the questions after he finished speaking that they were asking him, the reporters, and that he was answering. And one of the things that he talked about was leases and rents. So for those of you that are leasing apartments, you're on a 12-month lease or whatever type of lease you're on, or you're renting, he said that they didn't hit their what they hoped, the numbers that they had wanted to see on rents. They felt like that rent increases were still lagging behind, and that they were predicting that there was going to still continue to be more rent increases over the next year or two. So for those of you that are leasing apartments or renting houses or apartments or whatever, leasing houses, apartments, expect your rent to go up some more. Are you prepared to pay an extra $300, $500 a month above what you're paying now on your lease or on your rent? Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared for it? Because Jerome says that those numbers of rents increases are still lagging behind. So in other words, the rent increases and the increases in leases there needs to be more to catch up with the pace of where with their monetary policies are trying to get the economy to go in order to slow it down, to bring inflation down, to try to hit their 2% target goal. When just before that, a week or two prior to that, it leaked out that they were thinking that, man, we ain't gonna hit 2%. We'd be lucky if we hit 4%. So he says, the work ain't finished yet. You heard it, right? The work is not yet complete and finished and done. We have a lot more work to do, he said. So in other words, we're not done raising interest rates. We're not done cooling off the housing market. We're not done causing a soft job market, hiring freezes and layoffs. We're not done slowing down the economy for a sustained enough period. So that's why some economists, many of them are saying we haven't seen the recession yet, because the cutting has just really begun, and it's about to start stinging. Are you prepared financially for a recession? Are you prepared to see another mirror image of what happened in 2008? Maybe not as bloody, maybe not as financially devastating, because like he said, a lot of the mortgage company and lending institution and banks, they're better prepared this time around because they've had better lending practices, right? So it won't maybe be as bloody, and the cut might not be quite as deep as it was in 2008, but everybody in the financial arena is talking about things are going to be looking like they looked in 2008. Are you prepared for it? And I've been preaching it myself personally, and I've been saying it, and I'm going to say it again here. I've said it probably the last 5 or 6, podcast shows that we've done, whether it was with me by myself or someone else on as a guest. I've said it. Revolving credit cards, any type of revolving accounts, credit accounts, get them joints paid down. Right now, I say under 10%. If you can't completely pay it off, get them things paid down under 10%. If you're running over 30% usage on your credit cards right now, stop it. Stop it. Get your credit cards paid down. Minimum under 10%, preferably paid off, and then just use your credit cards like a debit card. Only spend or use your credit card so you can continue to get your reward points and all of that other stuff, your mileage, hotel. Continue to use your credit card if you want to like that, but use it. What am I got on screen here? I don't know what I got on it. But use it for just to get your points and stuff. Use it like a debit card. So whatever you was going to pay cash for, go ahead, use your credit card for that, and then turn right around and just pay it off. But if you can't get them down, if you can't pay those revolving accounts off completely, get them down to at least under 10%, right? Because your debt to income ratio is going to change as cost of living goes up, right? Think about it. If your bills increase, your income stays the same, and you don't reduce your debt, what do you think happens to your debt to income ratio? So all of a sudden, that 35% expense ratio that you was running just became 50% of your income, or 60% or more of your income. So that's number one. Number two, personal loans. Please don't be applying for no new personal loans right now. Unless you already have that loan, you're only borrowing it because you want to keep your money invested, because we're still in a down market. Other than that, don't do it. If you don't have it leveraged, don't do it. And if you already have personal loans, 1, 2, 3, whatever, get them jokers paid off. Get those personal loans paid off. And number 3, keep stacking up monthly. Make a plan and stack up some cash reserves so that you got some cash reserves on hand for a couple reasons. For emergencies, but also to be able to handle the increase of your monthly expenses as they are happening right now during this time that we're in. And also, for number 3, God forbid, in the case that you do get laid off or something like that, you got some emergency funds, but also have your cash reserves because opportunities are coming. If we're going to see some discounts coming in the housing market, which we are, I'm saying it, everybody's saying it. If we're going to begin to see some discounts coming through possibly foreclosures or whatever the case may be, quick sales, whatever the case may be, then you want to have some money that you're sitting on. So if you do have, you want to get some lines of credit or something like that, have some stuff set aside and available, right? But get your cash reserves up so that you have it leveraged. Right. So that if you do make some moves and try to jump on some opportunities, some discounts and deals that are going to be coming, right, then You can do it with some credit or whatever, but you have that credit leverage through your cash reserves, and you can keep your money invested. There are a lot of banks right now offering, if you got $25,000 or more, they're offering you cash right off, incentives right off the bat. 30 days, 60 days, whatever the case may be, 90 days. They give you a cash bonus, right? As well as many banks right now are paying over 2% interest month at, what am I trying to say? They're paying over 2% interest if you have $25,000 or more that you can, and these are major banks, $25,000 or more that you can invest or put, into a money market type account or fund. So, this is just what I'm saying. I'm just trying to hope you. I'm trying to hope all of us, trying to give us something to prepare, how we can prepare ourselves. Because, if you don't believe that we're currently in the recession, that's cool. I got you. If you don't believe that we're currently in a recession, but you should believe that, like many of them saying, that it's coming. If you don't believe that we're currently in it, you should believe that it's coming. You should be able to at least believe that, right? Do you believe it? You should be able to believe that. Let me do this. Let me do this real quick. Right there. That's what I'm looking for. Boom. Got it. Okay. Yes, you should at least, you should believe that now. It's coming. Now, think about this. Drop this on you real quick, and then I'm getting up out of here. So they're saying 12 to 18 months is coming. So what if it lasts for another 12 months? Because I've been saying 2 years, y'all. I've been saying 2. Now I'm looking at 2 to 3 years, right? That we're still going to be in this. So if they're saying it ain't coming for 12 to 18 months, let's go conservatively and say 12. That is coming. It'll be here by this time next year, October, November, right? That being the case, and then let's say it lasts for another year, another 12 months. That's 2 years. Okay, let's go on the other end of the spectrum and say 18 months. That it ain't coming for 18 months. That means it ain't coming to 2024. So you'd be looking at what? April, maybe somewhere in March, April, 2024. 2024, right? Then let's say it lasts for years. So you're talking about over into 2025 that we could be seeing ourselves in this predicament financially that we're in right now, and seeing ourselves wobble through, limp through, stumble through a sustained period of below trend growth, a recession that erodes the value of your look. If you're not prepared, I believe that we still have a small window of time to start changing some things, making some better decisions, and potentially setting ourselves up where we can be cushioned against what's coming. And it is coming. Go to my YouTube page, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it. That way you can get the videos cataloged better, because you're going to want to go back and listen to this podcast show right here. Are you prepared for a recession? And then you can go back and just scan through it, 10 second, 10 second, 10 second, 10 second, 10 second, and see. And you'll be like, man, James was trying to tell us back in 2022. He was saying it way back in the summer and the fall of 2022. But I didn't want to listen to his chocolate self, because I didn't like the way his glasses sat on his nose. So I didn't want to listen to him, because I'm like, who is he? He just another social media wannabe, over here talking about, a recession. count the money in your pocket. Stop counting I ain't counting your money. I'm just here, like I say, trying to help all of us. That's why it's called the Working People's Podcast. That's why it's called that. Because it's working people like us that's trying, that's really upholding economic, you know what I'm saying? Because we're the biggest consumers. We're the biggest consumers. So, hey, at the end of the day, we all grown. That's my name right there, James Hollingsworth, Working People's Podcast. At the end of the day, we all grown. All of us can do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you feel like you want to do. Do you, boo? Do you, boo? We can do whatever we want to do. But it will be wise to not be running 30% or higher on your credit cards, revolving accounts. That's just what wisdom. Number one is hurting your credit score. Number two is putting you in a financially detrimental situation where if next month, you know, we start seeing the effects, or 2 months from now, we start really seeing the effects of the latest most current interest rate hike. And then you see another bump, 20% in gas, 20, 25, 30% in food, whatever. It's just going to help you out, right? It's going to help you with your monthly expenses if you still ain't paying a credit card bill every month. Or 5 credit card bills every month. It's just going to help you out, right? Yeah? So that's just wisdom. Get them jokers to pay down under 10% minimum, paid off preferably. And then just use your credit card as a debit card. So when you go to the grocery store, you know you got $100 in the bank. Go ahead and put the $100 on the credit card, then pay it off with the $100 in the bank. You know, just pay it right off. Then you still get your points and all the other stuff that you're using your credit cards for. But don't be running no balance and holding no balance, paying 27% interest right now. That's absolutely not wise. I'm going to be real good tonight. It's not wise, right? And if you got some personal loans that unsecured and you're thinking, well, you know, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 you know, but these personal loans, a lot of them got interest rates on them that, whoo, geez, that rivals payday loans. Some of these personal loans looking like payday loans out here. Personal loans looking like payday loans, you know what I'm saying? Folk looking like they pimps, you know, stop it, you know. Now's not the time, you know. Are you prepared? Because the recession, if you don't believe that it's here, like I said a week or 2, 3 ago, or whenever, if you don't believe it's here, fine. But believe the professional analysts, all of them that said it's coming. After Amazon, I just showed you, after Amazon released their financial reports, Bank of America argued and said, I think we might already be in a recession. And Jeff Bezos, He knew the earnings reports was coming out. So before they dropped, Jeff Bezos says, batten down the hatches. Because Amazon missed their quarterly earnings. And they stock fell over 11% on Friday. Are you prepared for the recession? Winter is coming. And it's going to get cold. And cost is going up. Your utility companies, the states have approved their rate hikes. So winter is coming. You want to stay warm, don't you? I mean, some of us gonna have to get on that winter protection plan because them bills about to start coming in. So. And like I said, go listen to Jerome Powell's speech the other day and watch the whole thing. I think it's about an hour long or so, or about, you know, between what he said in the speech and the questions that they asked, the reporters and things asked afterwards. But rent's coming on the 1st, and eventually here pretty soon, You already seen how rents jumped this year. They about to jump some more. Listen to what Jerome said. Rent's going up, folks. You gonna renew your lease? You better have some extra money. Cause guess what? Many employers, they haven't increased your pay substantially enough to match the increases in the food that you're buying, the gas that you got to put in your car to get to work, and the rent that's going up on the first. But I'm getting up out of here. I'm trying to tell you, you better, get them credit cards paid off, because that money that you would be paying on those credit cards and those personal loans, you're going to need that for your rent that's going up. Hey, but thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. If you come through, share this video with your friends and tell your cousin them that rent's going up. Tell your cousin them that Jerome Powell said that they're still committed to pushing the economy with their financial policy, their monetary policies, into a sustained period of below trend growth. They're still dedicated and committed to that goal and that task. So tell your cousin them to watch this video, share it with them, send it to them. If you're watching on YouTube, press the subscribe button, thumbs up, drop some comments if you come through, and ring the notification bell, ding, 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 so you get notified when we upload new videos. If you come through on Facebook here, either on the Working People's Podcast page or my personal page, or if you're watching via the Second Friendship Missionary Baptist Church Facebook page, Rodney Williams, the illustrious pastor of the church, thank you for coming through and appreciate you for allowing us to stream live to your Facebook page. So shout out once again to Rodney Williams and the ship. But I gotta go. I got to go. I gotta go. I'm